Aether has a new modifier, and apparently she does this. Probably why Vertan did things to get stronger, she needs to strip. Anyway, that is Thoth, the best new physical DPS on Aether global roster. She can deal massive damage to both boss and small mobs. Her skills are quite complex, so listen, let me break it down for you. Her normal attack, String Server, deals physical damage equal to a portion of her attack. In the Weaver state, it deals even greater portion of her attack. It has a passive where users can acquire up to 2 Feather Blade and Silver Thread Mark at once after using her skill 1 or her skill 2 respectively. Skill use does not interrupt her normal attacks, and unleashing the final strike of her normal attack replaces skill 1, Dance on Edge, and skill 2, Silver Drop, with Spin on Edge and Shadow Cut respectively. Resets the CD of Spin on Edge and Shadow Cut and restores 5 energy every second. The skill 1, Dance on Edge, is a skill that deals physical damage equal to a portion of her attack, and while Spin on Edge deals physical damage equal to a greater portion of her attack. With a CD of 7 seconds, skill use grants 1 Feather Blade mark with a maximum of 2 marks. If the skill use triggers Extremity Dodge, it grants 15 energy. Silver Drop deals physical damage equal to a portion of her attack. When the last strike of her normal attack hits, it becomes Shadow Cut, dealing physical damage to an even greater portion of her attack. Each use grants 1 Silver Thread mark with a maximum of 2 and slows the enemy by 75% for 2 seconds. Her skill 3, Stitch, requires 2 marks of either the Feather Blade or Silver Thread, or 1 for each, which will give it different effects. The effects depend on the type of marks used. Expending 2 Feather Blade marks from skill 1 deals a significant amount of physical damage, while expending 1 Feather Blade mark and 1 Silver Thread mark from both skill 1 and skill 2 deals a significant amount of physical damage but slows the enemy by 75% for 3 seconds. Expending 2 Silver Thread mark will deal physical damage and slow the enemies by 25% for 3 seconds. When her energy is full, hold down the normal attack to unleash Feather Fall. This deals damage to enemies and expends all marks. She then enters the Weaver state and resets the CD of her skills, increases her attack by 5%, and further increases her attack by 0.5% for every energy over 100. The attack buff is capped at 20%, and any marks consumed will be refunded. The Weaver state is a mode where her stats increase and her skills are replaced with Spin on Edge, Shadow Cut, and the Snare, which deals massive amount of physical damage and immobilizes enemies for 3.5 seconds. Her ult, Moonless Night, is a skill that deals physical damage and increases independent damage, which is also considered skill damage, by 20% for 25 seconds, and increases all attribute damage considered elemental damage by 15% for 15 seconds. It grants ultimate skill charge when a critical hit is landed by any member in the team. This ultimate skill chain, Broken Thread of Destiny, can be activated by having her and Skemet in the party. This ult skill chain deals physical damage based on Skemet's attack and her ultimate skill level, plus Thoth's attack and Thoth's ultimate skill level. But that's not all. It restores HP of the team members based on a portion of Sekhmet's attack multiplied by their ult skill level, and increases physical damage of the team members for 12 seconds. Also increases the skill damage by 20% for 12 seconds, and also increases the all attribute damage by 15% for 15 seconds. Dodge skill, Shade Spin, dodges the enemy's attack and triggers the dodge effect by tap a normal attack within 3 seconds of an extremity dodge, which triggers Invisible Strings. Invisible Strings teleports behind the enemy and deals physical damage, and then slows their movement by 50% for 1.5 seconds. Her best Functor is her signature Functor, Pharaoh Neferketa, which increases the damage of all her skills and refunds energy when exiting the Weaver state, which allows her to go into the Weaver state more quickly, and allows her to use her skills more often both in and out of the Weaver state, significantly increasing her DPS. But if you do not have those available to you, or you don't have her signature, then here are some alternatives that you can go for that will work just fine for her. 1. Pharaoh User Calf, which increases her skill damage based on the combat resources expended for that skill. And Pharaoh Intef 1. This increases her combat recharge speed after a dodge effect has been triggered, and with a code of hers, which I will get into, she can trigger her dodge effect easily. Her best sigil combination is the Crescent Moon Guidance in slot 135. It boosts her physical damage and increases the skill damage each time combat resources are obtained. And Ruler of the Heavens in slot 246 for just overall personal damage for ranged characters, which she is considered to be. It also increases her skill damage and normal attack damage. The Sigil Mythic Warriors can also be used in place of Crescent Moon Guidance, as it increases physical damage and boosts physical skill damage, but Crescent Moon is the better choice. Her warp is simple and straightforward. You just want to focus on increasing the base damage of her skills and reducing the CD of her skills, because she's a skill based modifier. So having her skills off cooldown as quick as possible is going to be very good. Here's what mine look like. You can feel free to copy it if you want. Thoth is a DPS with outstanding damage potential. Using the code path Words and Verses, the red one, would further help boost her damage by increasing her dodge skills damage and giving her the Thread Edge stack, which increases her crit damage by 4.5% per stack. This can go up to 7 stacks with a total of 31.5% crit damage. Now when she's in the Weaver state, she gets the full Thread Edge stacks, which gives her the ability to trigger her dodge effect a lot more easily, and further increases her skill damage when the Thread Edge stack is at 7. You can also use the code Wisdom and Knowledge if you want her buff the team, but I would not advise that, as the code part Words and Verses brings you significantly more damage. You can also use the code path Crescent Moon and Arbitration, which helps her to stay in the Weaver state longer, but you'd have significantly less damage. Again, I don't recommend this. Words and Verses for me is the best codes you can use for her right now. Thoth has a few team comps that works for her right now, but choosing the right units to buff her insane damage output would definitely be the right call. And one of such team is the Thoth Segment team, with Thoth as the main DPS, Segment as a support, and Li Guang in the 3rd slot. You can also swap that out for Eshera in the 3rd slot if you do not have Li Guang, but just make sure you're using the code path War Lioness on Segment for maximum damage. This is the best possible damage for Thoth. Anyways, here is a gameplay showcasing some of the teams that you could use.
Calm. Yes, I won't let you down. Almost there. Rise, wind and flames. Now. Slow down. There. Take it easy. Now. Little bird, Operation Alpha. Remember? You don't have to worry. It's time to end this. Tear them to pieces. Though embers may perish, my flames shall burn eternal. Dodge if you can. Thanks for your concern. Slow down! To be or not to be, that's no longer a question for you.
Okay,
Almost
you
there.
fools over there! Ooh, this is getting... Come on!
I won't let you down. Take it easy! Looks like I have to take this even more seriously now. Energies of yin and yang surge through the meridians.
Don't you disappoint me, craps!
energies of yin and yang surge.
Remember to stay calm. Yes, I won't let you down. Almost there.
Looks like I'm trapped.
I guessed right. You always make the right call.